Jackson?
You know what, Chris? He's playing like not just an all-league guard, but an all-American. He is phenomenal right now, and I don't think we can have just one guy take on that challenge. I think it's got to be great team defense. But he's playing at a tremendous confidence right now, and he's a do-all guard. I mean, he shoots it, he drives it, he passes it. He's really elevated his game. So it's going to be a challenge, but I think the thing we've got to do is it's got to be great team defense.
You talk about, I guess, Reggie, he's banged up with the foot you mentioned. How's he progressing?
He came back. He practiced. He had he has bone spurs in his foot, and he did not practice until we got out there, Clemson, and he was in a boot. It happened the first day of practice once we got back from Duke that Tuesday. But he's fine now. I think once Reggie felt confident from the MRIs, and he's got a little pain there, but I think once he got confirmation he was fine. He's been better at practice.
Is it kind of more of an issue? It's just going to kind of be nagging him for a while.
Yeah, it's going to be.
He's going to have to just mentally get over it.
Right, he's got to play through it a little bit. I keep telling him it'll be less painful to lose a little bit more weight. No.
Coach Garris Adams obviously had probably one of his best games with career high in points. He showed signs in practice of keeping that going.
Yeah, we challenged Garris after the Duke game because I think we need more out of Garris. I think because he's very capable, and Garris obviously stepped up his game in that Clemson game, but I think there's something we need consistently out of him because he can do a lot more. I know these guys. I've talked to Malcolm and Durant, and they feel real good when Garris is on the court with them, and he gives them another ball handler and frees those guys up to score a little bit more too. So, which is good for our team, and I think that Garris is extremely important to our success.
Frank, can you talk more about with Garrius? You've used him in the starting lineup at times. Now he's come off the bench. Talk about kind of what he brings off the bench for you.
Well, I think that's something we since we've been back, we evaluate again whether or not his role would be better in the starting lineup. But what he does bring in general is someone that has a high basketball IQ that should be effective on both ends of the court. I mean, he leads our team in steals, and we're not a great steal team in terms of that, but he has great instincts on the defensive end. We need him to be more effective rebounder, but I know the thing that he does offensively, we definitely execute a lot better when he's in the game from an offensive standpoint.
You were a little disappointed with the way the front court guys played. Anything to shake them up this week in practice?
We've been very aggressive, in terms of just getting after our guys and challenging them and letting them see how important they are to our team. Our team's success will be, we got to be able to go inside and out, and we can't rely on our perimeters to do all the scoring. We need scoring out of those guys, but we need presence. And we need presence on the defensive end. And we didn't have that at Clemson. I think Grant just completely dominated us. Our guys, hopefully on Saturday, we know we got to have that consistently. From Reggie, not just Reggie, but Julian, Raphael, and Eric also.
Is Julian, I know he hurt his foot, I guess, in the start of the season. Has he just been slow to come back from that? Is that kind of...
He's had a couple of nagging injuries throughout, so one thing, like when you have an ankle or foot injury and he had a knee injury, you overcompensate, so then your back starts to bother you. He had a back issue, and now he had a big bruise on his thigh or right below his shin that he kept getting hit there. So it's kind of slowed his mobility a little bit, and Julian needs that. He needs to be full speed to play, because when he's that way, he becomes not a good athlete. And so he's getting better health-wise, but he's still not quite 100%.
Frank, Durant's free throw attempts got to line a lot. I assume you like when he's aggressive like that.
Absolutely. We need that out of Durant. We need that out of Malcolm too. And I think that both these guys get to the free throw line quite a bit. And Durant was very aggressive in that ball game. And it's a positive we took out of that game is that you watch Clemson the other night. I mean, they just completely destroyed Georgia Tech. But we fought even when we got down and got back in the game. That's a tough place to go play. And but our guys really, hung in there, and we had chances. I mean, we had at one point we're down one, and we needed that one big stop, and we couldn't get it. They made 3 shot clock plays. I mean, at the end of the shot clock, sometimes you play a whole game, you may only have 1, but they made 3 shots at the end of the shot clock, and you got to give them credit that they made those shots. But if we could have gotten a couple of those stops, and when we got them on the ropes, with the way Durant and was trying to finish the game, I thought we had a chance to win the game.
I get a chance to ask you this when he left, but I guess how much losing Donovan affect the front court? Donovan,
I mean, I think our guys are fine. I mean, Donovan obviously was someone that was a part of our front court, but I mean, these are the guys who are playing at that anyway. So I think we're fine in the front court.
Frank, Malcolm's numbers, shooting percents are all up. His scoring's up from a year ago. Minutes are up. I mean, just what's been the key for his development and his progress?
I haven't seen a kid that really just bought in 100% and completely worked his tail off this summer, and it's paying off. And Malcolm will tell you, he was a good player. In his mind, he was working hard, but he really wasn't working as hard as he could work. And it's all about getting out of your comfort zone. And I think Malcolm bought into getting out of his comfort zone to be the kind of player he's capable of being. And I think he did that this summer, and he's continued to do that. I mean, Malcolm's our best player. He's our best leader. And he really did a 180 to get himself to where he is right now.
And Malcolm, you guys went on the road, 2 tough places. Obviously, played those 2 stuff, but still came home with loss. Just talk about the focus, I guess, for this game. ACC home opener. How bad you guys need to win this one?
We need this win a lot because it's a home game, like you said. We want to defend home court, and we lost those 2 games, but it's a learning experience. We have to learn from it. We watched film and understood, the things that was holding us from being successful. So now we just have to go out there and execute it, and I believe we will.
Coach talked about the difference with Boston College. Can you talk about that a little bit? How they're different from when you faced them last year?
We're just watching a little bit of film on them. Their offense is different. Last year they were more of a flex offense, and now it seems like they're operating more in the free throw area. And they're still doing some back cuts, and like Coach said, Reggie Jackson is playing phenomenal right now. So we just have to understand that it's not going to take one player to stop him. We all have to, play defensively together, and just worry about the little things: rebounding, playing harder, tougher, taking charges, and we'll be successful.
Now, obviously, Coach talked about the front court, wanting to get more production out of that. You guys carry a lot of the scoring load. How do you try to get them more involved this week? Get Reggie some more points, more.
We just, like you said, we just got to go to the big fella, not only him, Julian Gamble. We need more production from those guys because we need those guys to win. And we will, and Coach will do a great job of drawing up some things to get those guys involved, and then we'll go from there.
Talk a little bit about Garris. Have you seen some signs maybe in this practice that he's maybe get a little more consistency?
Yeah, it's amazing. We just had a meeting and we were telling guys about that. I don't think Garris knows how good he is. Really, he's so good, man. He does moves in practice. We that kid's good, man. So, I was spoken with Garris about being more aggressive, and Garris knows what he needs to do. He's a smart player. He's a big-time player, and he's going to continue to be consistent.
What does he bring? I guess the added dimension for you guys offensively.
Another ball handler. If guys are taking me and Durant away, he can bring it up, get us into the offense. He's a great offensive rebounder when he goes. He cuts extremely hard, and he just brings that for us, and that's a great dimension for us.
Coach, can you talk a little about DeQuan Jones? I know he started, but he only played 6 minutes. He's kind of shown flashes of what he can do, but also not consistent. Just talk about that a little bit.
I think the ultimate word here we use is consistency. And I think we need consistency out of DeQuan, and I think you mentioned it. DJ's shown flashes, and I think he's shown he's very capable. But we need more consistency out of all our guys. But in DJ's case, on both ends of the courts, I think that's very important. And his physical skills are off the charts. But we got to be complete in what we do and execution on both ends of the court, and we just need him to continue to grow in that area.
Have you been able to, I don't know, do anything else? The schedule, I mean, you've played on Saturdays and you had a week off Saturday and not another. Is that giving you any particular opportunity to get some other new, not necessarily new things, but maybe just reestablish some things with the team?
Yeah, it kind of goes both ways. Some people like the break and the timing of the breaks. I would love to have the breaks at the end of the year, and rather than begin the year because you're anxious to play. We've had them kind of back to back 2 weeks in a row, and so practice has been pretty intense, and you can have intense practice when you have that long break, and that's what we've had. So yes, you can put some things in, get some things done.
Frank, I've heard you mention about BC, correct me if I'm wrong, that they have more than two guys that can shoot the three. All five of them are capable of really throwing the three ball, aren't they?
Yeah, particularly when they put your penny in the five, and they become a tough matchup. He plays their 5 spot. And Corey Raji, I think, I don't even think he took a three last year, but he's like shooting 40% from three. They're always going to have 4 guys to shoot three, always. They never have any time when they play, there's not at least 4 guys out there that are capable, that are willing to shoot 3-point shooters. But when they're really lethal when they put, Trapani at the 5 spot. And they have like a Princeton, I don't know if Steve would like me saying it, but they have a Princeton flavor to their offense. Some guys, when they run it off, they don't like to say Princeton style, but they call it the Chin series, and where they start their offense from the free throw line with their post-ups. But there's a lot of back cut element in their offense, but also with their screening action, but a lot of pull and kick, a lot of ball screening, and a lot of pull and kick, whereas you can help, but if you help, you're going to give up threes, and we got to take away that 3-point line. We got to control the dribblers and keeping those guys out of the paint so we don't give up those pull and kick situations.
Any questions for Garris?
Garris, I guess just talk a little bit about obviously having your best game. How can you kind of build off that Clemson game and keep going forward and keep improving?
Just what my coaches and my teammates been telling me, being more aggressive. I need to do that 100% of the time during the game. Being a playmaker for my teammates also. I think the more open shots I can give Durant, Malcolm, or Reggie, or whoever, helps our team a lot scoring-wise, because sometimes we do struggle. But I think if I, make a couple more plays or try a little bit harder, then we'll be okay.
It's always great hearing you talk, guys.
Quiet kid. I think the one thing about ACC or league play, when you get in league play, and I said this to our team, one game is not going to make a season, and one game is not going to break a season. It's so early in league play that you lose a game or you lose 2 games because it's an unforgiving league. There are going to be a lot of people who lose games, so we're not going to get down because we lost a game to the point where we're going to say the season's over with, regardless of what's been said or out there. This team, and I feel that about this team, will continue to fight and continue to get better. That's what playing in league play is all about. It's a long season. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon, and we're going to continue to grow and continue to get better as a basketball team.
Coach, what'd you take away from last night in Tallahassee?
Well, it's amazing how a week ago they were talking how a team could go undefeated in our league, and I think our league is very, very competitive, and obviously Florida State's coming off 2 very difficult losses, as I just talked about. They lost at Auburn and lost at Virginia Tech, and as soon as you got to give them credit, because you got to get your mindset that you can't just stay in the past. You got to look to the future, and that's what Florida State did, and they took advantage of that opportunity. And I think every night presents another opportunity.
So you tell your guys, no one's invincible.
Well, I think they know that, but obviously we talk about that. They're college basketball players just like you, and you have an opportunity to compete. That's a great opportunity, and you got to lace them up and play the game. There's no one just going to say, game's over. You gotta toss it up.
Coach, on a lighter note, have you ever had a chance, because I know you're busy with your guys, but what Katie's doing with her girls and the numbers that they're rolling off, and do you interchange ideas at all?
I mean, we see each other quite a bit. I think, you know, she's having a great year. Their team is playing very well. She's got two great players. And I don't know if they're real names, but Baby and Momo. But they're playing very well, and hopefully she can keep it up.
Do you give each other advice at all, or you just strictly?
Yeah, I think we bounce things off each other. I mean, basketball things, but also other things too. So, I mean, that's the beauty of being in a school like Miami. It's a small school, and I think the family atmosphere in terms of when you have a small campus like we have. That's particularly Katie and myself. We're over here by ourselves.
Anything else?